back. We're so back, baby. Welcome back, main character girlies.
Welcome.
So usually we record every other week, but there's so much happening online about us. I think we're the topic of discussion that I had to call Justine up to be like, let's get back into the studio and spill some tea.
She made us come in when we're both on our periods.
Yeah, so that's when you know.
So that's when you know. So we're going to try not to be as bitchy as we feel. But we already pushed this episode back an hour because I was like, yo, I'm so tired. I need to lie down.
Okay, we need to talk about the chatter of the video that's gone viral online about our brown creators.
Yeah.
Because I just want to set the record straight once and for all. Our intention when we talk about brown creators was never to tear anybody down.
No.
We actually didn't use the words like, dislike, hate, ick, or anything.
Yeah. I honestly, I stand by what we said because it was just about their content not resonating with us.
Yeah.
And then, I think a lot of people are like, well, why don't you say you're insecure or jealous? Well, I did. If you watch the whole clip,
If you watch the whole thing.
I actually go on to say that it could be rooted in that. I'm not really sure. It's something I work on or I'm working on. And I think, you know what? I think that should be sufficient. And just a little disclaimer, if you are easily offended, that's totally okay. But this podcast may not be for you.
Because this podcast is supposed to feel like two best friends going out to dinner, drinking 3 espresso martinis, and shooting the shit. Because that's what we do all the time.
It's unfiltered and just not being apologetic. It's like being unapologetically ourselves where we're not scared of every little word that's going to offend someone. And of course, our intent is never to hurt anyone's feelings or alienate someone. But at the same time, you need to be able to let loose a little bit and kind of feel like you're with your girlfriends. And if that's how you feel when you listen to our podcast, then we're doing our jobs.
Yes. And also I wanted to say we are so proud to be part of the brown community.
We also do try to uplift brown girls, and we were in that clip and then also other clips, and at least we uplift each other.
Yeah. And also,
is that enough?
And also we always say this is a comedy podcast.
This is very comedic and satirical.
And who thinks we are funny?
Only us.
Only us.
So it's understandable.
It's understandable where things went wrong.
Yeah,
I understand. Actually, now it all makes sense.
Now it actually makes sense because we are only funny to each other.
Yeah.
So everyone else was probably like, bitch, what the fuck? Yeah. Understood.
Understood. But the example I always love to give, because when people think about tearing down the community, I always say I love the show Sex Life of College Girls, and I love Never Have I Ever.
I never watched them.
Really good shows.
Yeah.
But I think Bella and Davy are cringe as hell. But does that mean I hate Mindy Kaling? No, but that's the narrative people run with.
Yeah. I don't like Mindy Kaling.
Okay, so I do.
I mean, okay, I don't know her personally.
Yeah.
I think she looks great now. But I think I don't like her version of representation.
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of take issue.
You know what, though? After this week, I'm kind of getting the ick from the word representation. Because what the fuck does it mean? I'm so confused.
Honestly, I love the brown community, but I don't know what that word means anymore. We're just going to exist, and we hope you fuck with us, and we love you. And if anyone's feelings were hurt, we apologize for hurting your feelings, but we do stand by giving our opinions. And it's funny because someone told me, and I won't say who, but someone told me that someone we talked about said that they thought it was really funny. So if they're not bothered, we shouldn't be bothered.
Exactly. And I think we're just going to upwards and onwards. I mean, we went back and forth about talking about this on the pod, but you guys, our main character girlies, were like, hey, we've been seeing hate online. We need you to rebuttal it. This is not a war. If you want war, we can start one, but this isn't. We might start one with someone. Just kidding.
Okay, if you've been reading my stories, sometimes I like to clap back. But what I will say, though, is you guys also have to understand how quickly false narratives can spread in the comment section. And I know, having been on the other side before I was posting content, if I saw someone say, I saw you doing this, I thought it was immediately true because why would they lie? But for example, even someone today was about me unboxing these 2 pairs of shoes I got from Chanel. They were like, oh, I saw her returning those shoes at Chanel.
Where? Where did you see her? I would like to know.
Typical influencer behavior. I'm like, that's weird because they're both still in my closet and I'm packing them with me for Boston.
And you were just complaining how you're like, I don't know how I feel about these ones anymore.
No, but I'm just so you know, people can just fucking lie in the comments. There's no restriction.
And it's kind of crazy because even with one of the videos that went viral, a lot of people had DM'd us and friends texted us saying, oh, we posted positive things and we were, we had your guys' back, and all of the comments mysteriously disappeared.
It is what it is. But I will say, the only thing I'll say is I'm going to put out a little warning. If you want to fuck with me again, just know you're going to fuck around and find out. That's all I'll say.
The other hot topic of the week actually is Diwali season, Diwali parties, Diwali clothing. And Justine and I just actually finished our
There's a
free
party tonight on the dance floor.
So we're down the road. So we're down the road.
Oh, so we're down the road. Where's the party tonight? It's on the dance floor.
But we just finished our first Diwali season in NYC, and it is not for the weak.
No, it's not.
It's not. And we have thoughts, okay? Because my thoughts are, as much as I love the representation, as much as I love seeing Diwali become mainstream, these parties happening and being a part of it, especially in a culture like New York City, where people are running around the streets in their lehengas going to the next party.
Yeah.
Do I feel like some of them were overrated? Yes.
Yeah.
And so we need to talk about our experiences.
Yes.
And so the two parties that we went to were Cartier and Huda Beauty.
Yeah. So obviously we talked about Cartier last time. We were only invited by my sales associate. We didn't make the PR list, but you know what? At least we got in the door.
Yeah.
I feel like the vibe at Cartier to me was a little bit more cattiness. Like no one said anything.
It was cliquey. It was cliquey.
It was just this feeling in the air that was kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which it was funny because like not one person came up to us, but then Nahal gets a text from someone like, "Oh, heard you were at the Cartier event."
And I was like, "How did you know?" And they were like, "Oh, it's the talk of the town. Nahal and Justine were there," but no one said hi.
But no one said hi, which is
But we're
fine.
the aunties who gossip.
No, I know, right?
We're the aunties who
Yeah,
gossip.
I mean for real. But like, it was funny because I felt like, well, we talked about like everything we were, but then we actually did get invited to the Huda Beauty, the Volley event too. And that was the first influencer event that I felt like was such vibes because as soon as we got in, a couple of girls were like, "Oh my God, Justine, I love your content." And I'm sure you got that as well. And then there were these like baddest bitches in the back. And one of them I known from TikTok, Manisha. So if you don't know her, go follow her. And I was like, "Oh my God, Manisha." And then she had this friend, Sunny, and her sister, Smur. And it was just like the baddest girls, Anjali as well. And we just had the best time, just like talking, chatting, and just like having like true fun unfiltered girl talk and then going to a bar after and drinking wine and I got so drunk like so fucking drunk that we're singing Desi Girls in the hotel lobby.
Oh my God. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like when I think about the Cartier versus the Huda Beauty event, Cartier felt like they invited the top 5% of influencers. One thing I learned moving to New York is the influencers are a hierarchy. And so like the top 5% get invited to like the elite parties.
Yeah.
And to me, that Cartier event felt like people were really there working. Like people, like when we were trying to take a photo, because everyone was like, "Oh, we're working. We're a creator here. We need to show that we're here." It was a mosh pit.
Yeah.
It was a mosh pit. Everyone's pushing each other around to get a photo. And like, obviously no one's saying hi. And it just felt like, okay, everyone already knows each other. We're new to this space.
Yeah.
And nobody really cares.
Yeah.
But Huda Beauty happened to be on the same day as another big Diwali party, the Tarte one.
Yeah.
And I think all the top 5% went to that Diwali party. Therefore, we had the smaller creators.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, the Diwali to me changed. It's like community centered at Huda Beauty, but it felt more work centered.
That's so true. And I think I thought that, but I forgot to say it because, you know, I don't prepare for these episodes. So you saying that was actually so helpful. I think that's what it was. Like just getting to know smaller creators because at the end of the day, even though our impact is big, our following is smaller. And I kind of like that because it feels more like neighborhoody almost.
For sure.
It feels like everyone's a little bit more humble and like down to earth and like you can just have a real conversation and we can also help each other. Like for example, our friend Manisha like didn't know this like little trick with editing of like posting like what is it called like when you post private and then she's like, "What do you mean I posted the story?" And we're like, "Manisha, what are you doing? Post private." You know what I mean?
But that's what I mean. And I think another story that I'm going to share is when I went to the Cartier event, I met a big influencer. I can't use any names because y'all are going to try to cancel me again. So when I went to this event, I went up to this big creator and I told her, "I really like your content." And she said to me, "Oh, I love your hair. I love your outfit." And I was like, "Oh, wow, she's so nice." I went to the Huda Beauty event and I talked to some of these smaller creators and I was like, "Oh, I love your content." And they're like, "Hey, what kind of content do you create? Oh my God, I saw the stuff happening online. How have you been feeling?" Community means that back and forth banter. And it doesn't just mean hyping each other up with no context.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes at these events, it feels fake because of that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking for. And Diwali events, and Diwali to me means friendship, building, community.
Lightness.
Yes.
And you know what, too? Like, I will say about that, like, I think you and me are very like for better, for worse, very authentically ourselves. And we love seeing that authenticity in other
For
people
sure.
regardless of their personality, regardless if they're bitchy or like attitudey or sassy or whatever the fuck. Like, if you're authentically yourself, I just already love you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have this guard up, you don't have this like pretense up. It's like, if we can just shoot the shit and you're just being yourself, like, I literally automatically love you, you know?
Exactly. And I think that's what Diwali's purpose is. But a girl made a video the other day and she was saying how she hates that Diwali has become this show of outfits and people wearing their wedding outfits and too much glitter and glam. I respectfully disagree.
Yeah.
I think Diwali should be that. What is
Yeah.
your take?
I think to me, like, if I can be honest, I think a lot of people, when they complain about influencers in any way, shape, or form, it gives off an internalized insecurity of you want to be in that space, you want to be in the influencer space, and if you could, you would. I mean, honestly, I'm not even judging her. That's just my honest take on how I feel when I see anyone complaining about influencers. But Smur said to me, she was like, it's very much become us versus them, and it shouldn't be. And I understand that approach. It's like, okay, why do influencers have to get everything? They don't need the stuff. And I agree, like PR and like all that stuff, we don't really fucking need. At the end of the day, like if companies are gonna want to market, like before they used to use celebrities and journalists, and now they use influencers. You know what I mean? Because it's
Sure.
like it's just a better way to reach the masses. So you can't like be mad at just like the science of it, I guess.
I also think it's not even that they want to be in the space. I think the essence of Diwali is getting mixed up where people
Mm,
are asking, what does Diwali mean? Like some people are like, oh, you're doing all of these big events that are so like glamorous and stuff, but you
yeah.
guys are not doing a puja. To me, Diwali parties is not equal puja because you're going to go home and do puja with your family. And that's
Yeah.
an intimate experience. To me, these Diwali parties are like Christmas parties. We don't
Yeah.
go to Christmas parties and learn about Christian, whatever, Jesus or whatever the fuck.
She was about to say Krishna. No, she was about to say Krishna.
No, I wasn't. I
Yes,
was
you
gonna say Krishna is a.
You were going to say Krishna.
I wasn't, you dumb bitch. No, but I'm just saying we don't sit around learning about Jesus.
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 No, okay. Actually, I want to add to that because I think too, like a lot of what you guys are seeing on social media from influencers, including myself, is a highlight reel. And although we try to be very much authentic and show you guys everything, there are some more vulnerable things that you're just not going to see. Like when I'm praying or when I have gratitude or when I'm just doing this with my husband, like praying and doing a puja, like that's just not something I'm going to typically film. And I think if I were to film it, you guys would be like, this is so performative because it is.
Exactly.
Because I'm not going to put a camera in front of me doing something at my most vulnerable. And to me, praying is at my most vulnerable because it is performative and like that wouldn't be authentic to me. But what I can do is like talk to you about it later. I mean, I didn't really talk about it because like there was just so much going on. So I think that's why you're gonna get more of like the lighter and partier and fluffier side of the volume. And I don't think there's anything fucking wrong with that. So
No, I agree. And
yeah.
if you were having FOMO from not coming to these parties, like I want you to know that they are mentally, socially, and physically exhausting. And we are so grateful that we got to go and be a
Yeah.
part of it. But people out here be collecting the Diwali invites like they're monopoly properties left and
Yeah.
right. Like,
Thanks, Risha, for inviting us.
thank you.
You a real one.
And I just think it's so hard sometimes to go to these. But I will say the one thing that I loved about Huda Beauty, I actually love that it was on the same day as another Diwali party, only because it did kind of break it up.
Deviate, yeah.
And I think that's why they should have more Diwali parties on the same day so that different people can meet different people. It doesn't have to be the same. I saw the same people in every room that I go to in New York City. And I think, I don't know what it is. And I'm going to talk about the hierarchy again. In LA.
PR list, right?
Yeah, it is a PR list. But in LA, it felt like everybody was equal. There was no hierarchy. And as a new East Coast person, I feel like there's definitely like the hierarchy situation going on
So,
here.
I think too, for context, like I don't know, I don't remember if I said this last time, so if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. But Cartier doesn't know all the brown influencers. So what they do is like they hire like third-party PR agencies. And so what some creators do is like, oh, if I get in good with Bria, let's say, then I'll get invited to all these brand events. Me and Nahal don't do that because we don't like networking. We're homebodies, and our favorite activity is like just watching a movie and eating Taco Bell. So we're not making these lists. But I actually go shop at these brands and I have good relationships with my sales associates because I drop money, but also I'm a genuine fucking person. And so that's kind of how we get our in and
Yeah.
like things like that. Or if like our smaller content creator friends are like, "Oh, I'm going to this." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's get into this one too."
I also think that if you really wanna make it in the New York space, something that helped me when I moved here was go find all the PR agencies that are out there on the internet or ChatGPT and email all of them, send your media kit, let them know you exist, and, like, one of them will for sure put you on their PR
I
list.
didn't do that.
Oh, I've done that.
That's a good
That
idea.
is a really that was an advice I actually got from a brown girl when I first moved here, and I was like, "Oh, let me pay it forward." So, advice for everybody listening. We're gonna pay it forward and get invited to those events. And next year, maybe we'll host our own Diwali party if anybody comes, unless we get canceled again.
I think we're probably gonna get canceled at least 3 more times,
It has
so
to
I'm fine with
happen.
it. Yeah.
Okay, but one thing I really need to talk to you about
Yeah.
is some of these Diwali collabs. Because okay, this is no beef with the influencer. This is beef with
I
the
have beef
brand.
with the influencer. I have beef with that influencer.
How are you gonna do yearly planning, 365 days to wait for Diwali and give us a bedazzled bottle cap? I just need to know. I need to know who was on that marketing team and like how when did the bar for representation become so low that everybody was fine with it? They're like, we love a collectible. I need to know.
Dude, I don't know because to be honest, I didn't look at the packaging, but I've heard not just from you, but from other people, it wasn't the vibe.
Also, Anastasia last year did their lip kits.
Anastasia.
Anastasia, Beverly Hills. Anastasia. You don't call it that? You call it Anastasia?
No, I say Anastasia, but you say
Anastasia.
you say everything with like an Indian like
I
little,
thought that was like a very fire accent, actually. Anastasia was Italian.
now it's a yeah.
Anyways, I loved their lip kits last year. I bought 4 of them. And I was like, at least they gave us something new. Like Gulab Kiss was one of them and Chai Latte.
Oh.
We got a recycled bottle cap repackaging this year.
Dude, honestly, I am so jealous of all the PR Nahal gets. I like am still there with my La Roche Posay. Like, yay, La Roche Posay, my 1 box of PR.
Hey, give me that PR email, okay? I could get on their list. But this is what I mean. I feel like we get so happy that we're like, okay, yes, we got this party and with the brand and stuff.
Yeah.
And I love it. But at the same time, can't we also be like, we want more?
Yeah.
And we want more than just a bedazzled bottle cap.
Yeah. It's like giving when Kylie's skin came out and it was the same thing as the St. Ives apricot
Yeah.
scrub. You're not fooling us.
Also, the other thing, and this is just nitpicky, when I went to go buy it, because I wanted to buy it for my friends, because I love that 100% of the proceeds go to like donate it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck shade my friends are. Why are you gonna make something where I can't even gift it? I'm not gonna call everybody up being like, what shade are you?
Oh, they didn't even have like brown girl shades?
No, it's just they took whatever concealer you have and then you just bedazzled the bottle cap.
Oh, that's fucking dumb.
So it's
yeah,
like-
do some like Gulab or some
Yeah,
like
give us a new
chai
palette.
kind of thing, or maybe like like something maybe with saffron, or like something with turmeric, something Ayurvedic inspired.
Yeah, another
maybe?
really good idea would be because Smur looked stunning. Body lotion, glitter body lotion for Diwali.
Oh, are you talking about Sunny or Smur? They both look.
They both looked
dude,
fire.
They both look so fucking fire.
But their bodies were like shimmering, and I was like, they need
look
to
like Barbie dolls.
exactly. So they need to come out with a collab of things people will actually use.
I will say that Smur had a Danielle Guzio corset, but it was like
Oh.
bedazzled, and I was like obsessed. And I was kind of reevaluating that I gave my Danielle Guzio corset to my friend Heartbreathe because they didn't fit. And like me, like I just have no patience. I'll be like, take it, I don't need it. But
But now
I'm
you're like, I could have used it.
I think I should have ordered a size smaller though. I think
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Are there other brands that you were like, you wished you wanted to see do more Diwali things or you didn't see enough of? For me,
Ooh, that's
For
a good
me, one of
question.
them was Nordstrom. So I love that Nordstrom's carry South Asian designers, and they did a pop up for Diwali with Holy Chic, Megana's brand.
Oh, okay. Is it Magna or Mega?
Mega,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay,
Mega
so
from
Mega.
Holy Chic.
I have an idea for you for Holy Chic. I was thinking, what about Desi inspired lingerie?
Ooh,
Right?
I've actually never seen that done before.
Because when I saw Smur's bedazzled corset, I was like, oh my God, that would be so sexy if we had like Desi inspired corsets. And so actually, I kind of had this novel idea last year when my Masi, we try to go to India every year, and my Masi like has her own little boutique in their apartment complex. So I'll like go to, if you know Bangalore, it's Mysore like fabrics. It's like a famous fabric store. So we'll go pick out fabrics, and I gave her corsets that I had, and she made it into a corset. And so I have like those 2 corsets that are like very special to me, but I was like, "Oh, I wish we could get that more like accessible."
But I think because I saw Nordstrom's do it, I
Yeah.
was upset that
Or maybe
Revolve
Revolve.
no, but Revolve does carries Papa Don't Preach. They carry so many South Asians, but they spend so much money at Coachella and Revolve Festival, but nothing for Diwali. That rubbed me the wrong way.
I really do like Papa Don't Preach, like, kind of corset style because they have corset
Yeah,
style
they
stuff
do.
too, right? Yeah.
But I'm just like, why would a brand like these are the brands that I was looking forward to doing
Yeah.
Diwali? So I'm like, why don't we? It is becoming more mainstream, but
Yeah.
we need to do better.
You know what sucks though? I feel like for brands, it comes down to numbers at the end of
It
the day.
does.
And for South Asians, like we're less than 1% of I think like the population in the US. So I feel like that's why we don't get as much marketability because it's just like a numbers thing.
But then on the flip side, it's like, why are people so mad online then about these Diwali parties? If those are the stats, we should be so excited that there are Diwali parties. But
I agree.
I think people. I mean, aside from the
But you have to
insecurity,
understand it's like we're on the other side because
yeah.
we're attending. So for them, again, I'm just gonna tell you what it's giving, and you may or may not have felt this way when you made this video. But to me, it gives like you want to be at these
Yeah,
events.
and it's like FOMO, and it's also wanting to
Yeah,
like the longing of being a part of a community and
yeah.
stuff. But it's also
Because I feel like if you were invited, you would be like you wouldn't be making that video. You
yeah,
know?
but for me, it's like we were invited and we're being honest about our taste.
Yeah.
And like, do I feel like sometimes, like, I don't, first of all, I don't know how girls with proper 9 to 5s go to these Diwali parties. I start getting ready at
Oh.
like 3 p.m., 2 p.m. It's a whole day affair.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I don't have a 9 to 5, but I still start getting ready after 5, and Nail wants to kill me every
That
time.
is true. But no, I just feel like these Diwali parties are so beautiful and we're so lucky to have our culture represented. But
Yeah.
it's okay to also be opinionated, which is what we do on this pod, and be like, we want more representation. This one was overrated. Like, this is what we like brands we want to see. And, we're going to keep bringing that energy. A couple episodes ago, we were talking about superstitions
Mhm.
and Nazar and all of that. And some weird shit has been happening to me. And I want to
Dude,
tell you about it.
weird shit.
Okay. So, do you remember last time we were recording and stuff and I lost my tennis bracelet and I was freaking out because it was my diamond tennis bracelet. And then
Yeah.
Nav found it.
At home.
Yes. This past weekend, I was at a Diwali party with my parents or my in-laws. Oh, wait, they are my parents. Wow, I called them my parents. Oh, we're getting closer. No, but I was with them. And then I was at this Diwali party and all this stuff online has been happening and everything. And then I look down at my ring in the car and the stone is gone. I start
The one that
freaking
was
out.
wobbly?
Yeah. And
Oh.
so then I was like, oh my God, where did it go? And they were like, where could it have gone? I look around the car and I found it. And so both my tennis bracelet and my ring stone both went missing and then it was found. So I looked on ChatGPT. I'm like, what does this mean?
I
And-
was just gonna ask, like, did you Google what
yeah.
that meant?
And it means that, like, yes, Nazar and evil eye is around you. Like, people are looking at you, but God has your back and he's protecting you. But at the same time, it's a warning. Like, be careful.
Oh
So
my God.
I made my mom do like Nazar Puja.
That, like, kinda made my heart stop.
Like, I have chills. But the fact that I got everything back.
No, but also, like, Nehal, like, I feel that and we talked about this with Nazar, and, like, I know obviously you grew up Hindu, I grew up
Yeah.
Sikh, and, traditionally, Sikhs aren't supposed to believe in superstitions, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think we have to take the best out of it because obviously a lot of people had shit to say about us and a lot of shit happened in the past couple weeks. But it's like, I think if we focus on being good people and like focus on this being a learning experience where it's like, okay, maybe we will be more mindful of like never wanting to hurt anyone's feelings, but still like just always being true to ourselves and being true to like God, then like he will have our back. But also to that in that same vein, like God has to give you sadness so that you can experience happiness. Like
Oh my God, that's
happiness
crazy.
won't feel like happiness if you don't know what suffering is.
Exactly.
So like if we just were happy all the time, it wouldn't feel like this euphoric feeling.
Well, yeah, I got that feeling of being in the deep down low these past couple
Yeah,
weeks. So,
it's
we're coming
hard
out.
because it feels loud.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was our first time going through it. And it doesn't feel good to have so many people picking apart your voice, your looks, your personality, your marriage, coming after your family, and just making up bold faced lies about you. And you can't reply to every single person because it's just not realistic, nor is it productive. Because at the end of the day, what I think is also happening is whoever had an issue with us before of like, okay, fuck Justine, she has this luxury lifestyle, or fuck Neho, she doesn't have to work.
Yeah.
I think they were also using this as an opportunity to say something about us. And that's why I don't like cancel culture, because it's not about being constructive or being accountable. Like, if it was actually a constructive conversation of like, hey, like, I think you could have worded it this way. Okay, totally understand where you're coming from. Instead, it becomes, you're a fucking bitch, you're a fucking cunt, you do this, you do that. And like, to me, you never liked me,
It's
and you're
mob
just
mentality.
using this as an opportunity, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's like, not even, I think it's mob mentality, but it's like also like, I don't think any of you guys liked us to begin with, and you're just using this as your safe space now, you know?
It's also just crazy because this whole experience has also opened my eyes to perception versus how people
Yeah.
are. It's like you don't know us, but you're getting mean girl energy from a 1 minute clip. How? How? And then the people who watch it, it's like what you think of us is never gonna change.
I also think the tough part about it too is like all of our content and all of the stuff we talked about getting diluted to this 1 minute clip of like when we've talked about domestic violence, sexual assault, abusive relationships, like, just anxiety and OCD, PCOS. Like, we've talked about so many things. So to boil it down to just like this 1 minute clip of something you didn't care for, which you have every right to say and you have every right to express your opinion. But the same way you're telling us to be mindful, it's like you should also be mindful, you
Yeah.
know? So
And
it's like,
it's kind of crazy though. I will have to make a joke here because we're getting a little too deep. Is like
yeah.
we kind of low key brought the whole brown community together
We
over
did.
a shared common hatred of us.
Yeah, over our shared common hatred of us, you guys were like, we were actually like uplifting creators.
Yeah,
if
we're
you
like,
think
okay, we
about it.
hate these bitches, but we love these amazing creators. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take that pat on the back for
Yeah, so
us.
you're welcome. You're welcome to the 3 creators everyone mentioned. It
But
felt like a RSS campaign, like the bots, like it was like when the farmers were protesting in Punjab, and then all of a sudden, like 10 Bollywood celebrities tweeted the same thing. That's what it was giving.
uh, but okay,
And
enough
I'm here
about
for it.
yeah,
I'm here for uplifting and representing and rainbows.
representation. But we want to end today's episode with some back to pop culture because that's what we're really all about, talking about what we're watching, what's happening in the world. Wait, did you hear that insane story about the girl who faked her pregnancy?
No?
Okay, this is actually insane. So,
Wait,
this
tell me.
this girl, she got pregnant and she had a whole gender reveal. She had a registry and she went through the whole thing. Every one of her coworkers are giving her gifts. She had a baby shower and then the baby is born. When the baby is born, she gets a doll, one of those lifelike dolls. And she carries that lifelike doll around. She showed it to her coworkers.
Wait,
No,
stop. This is like actually giving me like chills. No, like I'm getting scared.
do you want me to continue?
Yeah, continue.
Okay. And so then she's taking this doll around and everything. Even one time, like her friend saw the doll and she was just like really weird about it. Like, don't touch the doll. So somebody took the sock off it and she's like, don't take the sock off of it because it looks so real. Then her friend put it in like the car seat. They would drive it around. Like her friend didn't know that it wasn't real because it used to like be so lifelike. Then one day her dad asked her, hey, what happened to your baby? And she's like, oh, the baby died because she wanted to stop the charade of it all.
Wait,
And
that's
then everyone
scary.
started digging, and now it's
I'm
like,
scared.
yeah, and now everyone's like, she's a scammer, and like she faked her pregnancy. It's been 2 years or whatever.
That's weird.
Also, it just makes me uncomfortable. Like,
Dude, I hate fucking weirdos like that. Like her and like Gypsy Rose's mom.
oh my God.
And like also the bitch from The Perfect Neighbor. Can we talk about
Yes.
that? Because okay, first of all, I just want to say I upped my Lexapro and I'm taking a beta blocker, which means I'm anxious, but I'm also it's like a little bit numbing in the beginning as you adjust. It doesn't stay like that. But for me to actually cry was like significant because I've had, you in the beginning when you adjust to Lexapro, you might not be able to cry a little bit. Whatever. It affects everyone differently. That's not the point. But like that documentary was so heartbreaking. And I also have to say, justice for what's her name? Is it Ajika?
Yeah,
Ajike?
yeah. Ajika Owens.
You told me to watch it. I saw your TikTok. And oh my God. First of all, I want to say the director. I think she's Indian, Geeta.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Geeta Gandhir or Geeta Gandhabir, if I'm not mistaken. But that was an amazing documentary because it was all filmed with body cam footage.
Yeah.
So the story gets told 100% through body cam footage, which is kind of amazing. But basically, there's this older white neighbor named Susan, and she has been calling the police incessantly and harassing these kids in her neighborhood for simply playing outside and being kids. And you know what? When kids play outside, you know the world is healing. So I don't even know why you'd have an issue with that. And yeah, I know I get sometimes kids can be loud and they're annoying, but then it's like you could just go to the parents and be like, "Hey, I'm so sorry, like would you mind just telling them to quiet down?" Additionally, how long are these kids fucking playing? Like they're in school the majority of the day, and at most, what are they playing? 4 to 6 outside at most because they have to eat dinner, wash up. Like there's no way that they're playing more than like a couple hours at best.
Literally. And so there black woman across the street,
Mhm.
it has a bunch of kids, and these
Single
are the
mom,
single mom. She
4 kids.
amazing woman.
And you can tell that this neighborhood are women that kind of stick together. One
Yeah.
of the neighbors, I think her name was Phyllis, the police officer, was like, "Oh, are these your kids?" She said, "They're all my kids." And I just thought that was so
It's a
heartwarming.
community. It
It's
was a community.
yeah.
And so this lady was clearly against the community and stuff. And then one day a tragic accident happens and it kind of shatters the family.
Well, it wasn't an accident.
It was premeditated.
It was premeditated.
And it brought up a bigger conversation around anti-blackness and racism in our community. I don't want to spoil it, but you can guess where this is
I
going.
was going to spoil it.
Okay,
I feel like
spoil
at
it.
this point, you guys probably will have seen it. So spoiler alert. And
Alert. What did you say? You did it, not me. Spoiler alert.
that was so funny.
How did you just move on from that?
I can't.
I'm getting delulu.
My chest hurts. My chest really hurts.
Okay, spoiler alert.
This actually isn't a spoiler alert because they say it in the beginning. Like you can tell when they talk about someone in the past tense that Ajika was the one that passed away.
That's a mom.
Yeah, that's the mom. I thought you said shouts to the mom. I was like, that's weird.
No. R.I.P. rest in peace in heaven. I can't do this. I'm not meant for serious topics.
So it was like fucked up too because the detective is like in the interviews with her, which you see through the body cam footage, she's like, so like were you at he basically I think he was implying that she had Googled stand your ground laws.
Yeah, she did.
Which means like she did it out of anger. And first of all, she was saying that she shot Ajika through the door because she was so in fear for her life. Bitch, be so fucking for real. Like if you were beaten and all this stuff as she alleges, if your door is deadbolted and locked and it's a metal door, you're going to go hide or go out through a slider. You're not going to like shoot someone.
Yeah.
What if it had been a fucking child?
That's the thing. Also, she lied about the story. And
Yeah.
so she said like the iPad, the kids had the iPad and she wanted it back. She's the one that broke the iPad by
She
throwing
threw
the
a
roller
skate,
skates.
yeah.
And so then she said, go get your mom.
Yeah.
So
And she said, go get your mom.
She did.
And you know what's fucked up is that now, like, I think one of the kids, Izzy or Isaac, felt like, oh, if I hadn't left my iPad,
know.
my mom would still be here. And
That's going to stay with him
it's
forever.
gonna stay with
Also,
him.
when he said, my heart is broken,
Yeah.
that's when I cried the most.
Like when they told them.
yeah.
Like I still get chills thinking about it because it just made me so like heartbroken.
But it does make me think, like, I know people like this still exist, but
Yeah.
I felt like the Black Lives Matter movement, when it happened during COVID, I learned so much. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm learning microaggressions, unconscious bias, all of this stuff. How do people like that still exist?
Well, I will say that's interesting because I feel like to me, it's not, of course, I didn't grow up experiencing that to that degree, but my niece's dad is black and my nieces are half black. So I feel like it was something that I experienced in my own family when they were first getting married of like the racism and the judgment and like let's be honest, like Indians can be very fucking racist towards
yeah.
the black community because we're kind of pitted against each other in a weird way where it's like, oh, Indians and Asians are the model minority and they're like the hoodlums or this and that. You know what I mean? And sometimes our businesses end up in the same block and then there's this contention between each other, which obviously shouldn't be the case. Like we should be really supporting each other. So I did like how like the South Asian community did stand up for black people during that time, which I thought was cool.
But it's like, why are we not continuing the work?
Why are we not continuing that? And I think it's just racism is getting so much more commonplace against South Asians and especially Indians.
Yeah.
And also like there's like this new term that's like trending like black fatigue, which
I've
is
never heard
also
of it.
like Yeah, so it's like it's also like a thing that racist white people say, like, it's you're just talking about, like, annoying, like, people. You're not talking like, they could be white or black, you know what I mean? Like, you're
That's
just
so
talking
annoying.
about yeah, it's like it's a like, but if you just happen to film a black person doing it and then you're gonna call it black fatigue, you know what I mean? It's just, like, stupid.
Yeah, but I think this movie just opened up a lot of eyes
Yeah.
and of things that are happening. This is one story out of like how many do you think?
No,
Like so many.
I think it's like also like it's like also a good reminder for us because even though we are minorities in this country, like we are on the luckier side of it. Like we Indians are in the top income earners in this country. We often live in more wealthy areas, go to wealthier schools. So sometimes when black people talk about things that they go through, some Indian people will chime in like, well, you just have to, my parents came to this country with $20 and they made something, why can't they do that? Well, it's like your parents are upper caste probably. So let's
Yeah.
talk about that. So they had the funds to even get themselves from India to here, which means they were probably educated. So they were smarter. They could get a better job. And I'm not saying that our parents didn't sacrifice, but it's different. Like
It's so different.
yeah, the Indian brown experience is different than like the black American experience, and like just years of like what's it called? Like, redlining and, like, racial
Yeah.
bias and just all that
Which
shit.
is why also, back to the Met Gala topic, is
Yeah.
why we were so excited for the Met Gala this year because it was like Shah Rukh Khan, Diljit, and then the Black community was hosting it for us. And I
Yeah.
thought there was something so beautiful about it.
Yeah, and I think that talking about the Met Gala kind of sucked because I was critical of Tiana Taylor and, the other girl from SNL that were interviewing Shah Rukh Khan and Diljit, but it had nothing to do with them being black, and I think it's hard because it's like, I think sometimes when you do have a criticism of anyone that's black, it can be perceived as being anti-black when that's not, like, the intent, and I feel like that's hard to separate, like, how do you deal with that when that happens?
And I also think it's harmful for the community to kind of use these terms and not explain like why they think it is because it's
Yeah.
just a term then at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like I remember I made a video about Love Island and I said in the video, I was like, oh, I think Huda is misunderstood. I don't like Shelly because I think she's a mean girl. I love Alandria and Clark is dope. And they were like, oh, you're anti-black. I'm confused.
Yeah.
I just named all like, how is that anti-black?
I think that came up a lot during Love Island, like,
Yeah.
people that were standing Huda, but then getting accused of being anti-black, and I'm sure that there were some racist comments, but I wish that the racial tensions haven't got I wish they weren't so high that just being critical of, like, a reality star could get you that label, and I feel like that's really, hard to deal with sometimes.
For sure.
But I think it's also hard on their side where I can understand why they might be more sensitive or defensive because they experience that so often. So, it's like, you know, obviously that's never our intent, so I can just put that
Yeah.
out there for past, future, and present.
And that's why I'm like, I will always like, I'm always uplifting all communities. That's
Yeah.
like what our goal is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad we were able to talk about this on the pod. But the other pop culture thing I wanted to talk to you about really quick was Alex Cooper and her interviewing skills because it has been a hot
Oh,
topic.
yeah.
She's gotten Kim Kardashian. She just did Victoria Beckham, which by the way, I'm watching the documentary Fire.
Mhm.
And I need to know like, what are we feeling about Alex Cooper and her interviewing skills? Because in my mind, she is a pop culture interviewer. She is not a journalist, but people hold her to journalist standards, which is why they're unhappy.
So I actually think the best interviewer of our time is Rachel Amandi, and she interviews and hosts on the Cutting Room Floor podcast, which is a fashion podcast. And she's grown her Patreon to be so big. She's interviewed Steve Madden, Gwyneth Paltrow, the founder of Cult Gaia, like so many like huge stars, Law Roach, like, but very fashion centric. And the questions she asks are so like you can't compete. Like she's on another level. She's like
Really?
to me, she's the Barbara Walters of our generation. And so I think where people's frustration lies is like Alex Cooper asked these basically these softball questions, but she's getting all these amazing guests and like her name is like the female Joe Rogan and like she's basically getting in all these spaces, but she kind of does like puff pieces.
True. It's like she's asking, like, did you hook up with Post Malone? But she's not asking, hey, you wore a bindi at Coachella. What do you think about cultural appropriation?
Yeah, and so I think that's where people's frustration lies, but I think where it's hard for Alex is like, hey, I won't get these celebrities if I ask these kinds of questions. But to me, when I see Cutting Room Floor, I'm like, she's still getting Gwyneth Paltrow and asking Gwyneth Paltrow, like, is your brand for rich white women?
Oh, wow.
So it's like, I don't know. It's like maybe there is a way that she could do it and take people's constructive feedback and just ask. Like, I think people just honestly want her to ask more hard hitting questions as opposed to keeping every interview like a softball interview.
But it's also like, as the viewer, sometimes it's nice to just watch your favorite celebrity just be like, get like Cardi B's interview was
Yeah.
just so funny. But I will say one thing about Alex Cooper is she does not know how to relate with people of color.
That's what I said in my TikTok. That's I said the exact same thing.
Oh my God.
I think when you see, and you know what's funny too about Alex Cooper is I know the exact kind of girl she is because she grew up in my hometown. She grew up in Newtown. I grew up in Richboro. They're like 5 minutes from each other. They're very predominantly white, rich, upper class towns. She would have went to my public high school if she didn't go to a private school. So I exactly know what kind of girl
Oh,
she is.
wow.
And these girls were not exposed to a lot of black people growing up. So I think that's why she has this awkwardness with people of color, but specifically black people. But even with Priyanka Chopra, actually, I feel like
Yeah.
she was awkward. And the thing about the Kim Kardashian interview, I saw another creator saying this, but it's like I've never seen someone talk about their life story, but we still don't know anything about her life.
No, for sure.
And I feel like that's what it was kind of giving. And like I used to hate Kim Kardashian. I don't hate her as much anymore because I feel like she's achieved a lot in business. I just don't care for the things that she's kind of said or done. I get that it must be really hard to be in the limelight so heavy and everyone judging you, but it's just like I personally didn't really get much from that interview. And I'm saying this as an Alex Cooper fan.
Yeah.
I just wish if she could take any feedback, it would just be like, can you just ask more hard hitting questions?
Yeah, and I think for me, I also feel like Alex Cooper has come a long way. We've talked about this on the pod enough, but one thing for me is I will always have a soft spot for Kim Kardashian because she symbolizes, and so does Alex Cooper, evolution and change in a person and not holding somebody to the same standards that they were like 5 years ago or 5 years before. I think it's really funny with all the stuff that we're going through where people from the woodwork from my college days are being like, oh, okay. Like I know Nahal and she was a mean girl. I was 20 years old, 19 years old when I knew you.
Yeah.
Probably was a mean girl at the time, but to hold somebody to the standard of when you met them versus who they are now is not fair.
Well, it's funny because I'm about to do that right now. And I was like, well, I didn't like when she said, have you ever had Indian food? It's disgusting.
I didn't
And
like
they're
that either.
Disgusting. And I'm like, what? First of all, objectively, that's so untrue. Like objectively, we have good taste. Like
No,
I will
it's
die on
fire.
the hill that we
No,
have
it's
good
like she
taste.
said that fine, but then it's like I know this doesn't make up for it, but I did love how she went to the Ambani wedding. You saw her there, like you said.
I didn't. I didn't care for it.
I did.
I just felt like, oh, India's popping off now because so let me just say this. China and luxury brands like handshake emoji. Like they've always wanted the Chinese consumer because they know that there's money in China. Now that India's doing well, for better or for worse, because of the current administration, the economy's doing well. The Indian rich consumer is growing. Now all these brands are like tapping into India, like how Dior did their first runway show, and like whether it's with Cartier or Chanel picking Ananya as their first
brand ambassador.
first Indian brand ambassador. Gucci has Alia, like all this stuff, right? I feel like now they're just jumping on that bandwagon. So to me, it didn't feel super authentic. And also, bitch, could she have just pulled up the nose ring? The nose ring was supposed to be tight. That honestly was fucking offensive to me. And I'm going to say, in real talk, I did wait to try to get a selfie with her, but that was offensive to me.
Today we talked a lot about representation, but I think that if a good representation is when you can bring your culture to non-South Asian people. And I feel like doing that is very difficult. And so one thing during this Diwali season that I noticed that I would have loved more of is Kaylor from Love Island was at the tart party. But why the fuck was she wearing a bodysuit? Like she should have leaned into the culture and wore
like that.
No, I don't love that. I wish she wore desi clothing.
No, I'm saying you like because some people don't like.
No,
when
I
people
think
wear
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that if you are going to an event that is a Diwali party, you should 1000% wear desi clothes.
Yeah.
And I think you should do it up and stuff, which is why as with the Kardashian stuff, I like that they went to a wedding and then they wore desi clothes.
Yeah, but also like what else would they have worn?
No, but exactly.
They're not going to, yeah.
No, but
I
I'm
agree,
saying like some of these Diwali parties and brands, as much as I love them, it feels a little performative. In the sense where I love that you're bringing brown people together, but even with the Huda Beauty one, they could have bought Huda Mustafa in a desi outfit.
I was just about to say, I was disappointed that Huda Mustafa wasn't there. It kind of felt like a low budget version of like what a Huda Beauty event should be, where it's like, okay, here, brown creators go in the same room and then call it Huda Beauty Diwali when Huda's not. And to me, it kind of felt more annoying because it's like there's historically been um this racism from the Arab community towards Indians where they do not like being mistaken for being Indian. Like a lot of brown people, South Asian people, like more brown people than they are like the working class people or doing like the labor jobs in like Dubai or the Middle East. And so I felt like it would have been nice if she had actually been there. I mean, I get they're like huge stars now, but like it's your event and you are in New York City. Like you could have made like a 20-minute appearance.
The last thing that we have to talk about that has taken all of my time and my brain and everything on TikTok is the Louvre robbery.
Oh,
The Louvre robbery.
Very demure. I saw that. I was like, that's so like doom coded.
Wait, I love that. Like, how did these robbers do it?
You know that the world is healing when we have a jewelry heist. It's giving Luigi 2.0.
Love it.
Okay.
You know, that's what brings us all together. We love like murdered people and heists.
No, but like when Luigi happened, were we not in a happier place?
We were in a happier place.
Like we seemed happier as a nation.
And now that this heist has happened, it's brought us all together again.
Yeah, it was like Luigi, Coldplay, the Louvre robbery.
Honestly, these are pop culture moments. And then Nahal and Jaslene's cancellation.
And then Nahal and Jaslene's podcast controversy. Yeah, that was good.
Honestly, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. And
Yeah.
we love doing this pod and bringing it to you guys. I hope people realize that this is satire and comedy. And like, you know, again, we are the comedians.
Yeah. And also like to cancel at the Nuzzer, can like our fans give us some good vibes? Like just say, like even if you just say it now, like just say good vibes. Like everyone just say good vibes and come it our way and like we'll feel it.
And we've been getting a lot of amazing comments. People from Pakistan have been finding our content and they're saying hello from Pakistan. Like, hi, Pakistan.
Wait, who's that bitch?
I'm gonna sacrifice my life for you guys.
Nija.
You know, keep with the comments.
When I grow up, I want to be a pilot.
Grape.
Strong army. Wow, inshallah.
We have such ADD brain. We're like having a conversation, TikTok brain. No, but all we're saying is leave us some nice comments. We'll keep doing this as long as you guys want us to. And we love you.
Yeah, we love you.
Like, comment, subscribe, baby.
Woo!
Main character out.